in-house, I guess, and we'll do a quick introduction. We'll start over here with Chris.
Hello, Chris Prindeville, Weaverville Fire Department.
Josiah Metz, Post Mountain.
Gary Carpenter, Post Mountain.
Philip Simi, Trinity County OES.
Skylar Fisher, Trinity County RCD and Fire Safe Council.
Kelly Sheen, District Manager of the Trinity County Resource Conservation District.
Okay. All right. Well, there's the big board. Okay, as long as it doesn't bounce around, we'll start with Gina.
Hello, Gina Moon with the Willow Creek Fire Safe Council.
Yeah, welcome, Gina. Larry Glass.
Hi, Larry Glass was Safe and the Collaborative and South Fork Mountain Local Area Advisor.
Thank you, Larry. Jerry Cousins.
Hi, everybody. Jerry Cousins with the Collaborative and Weaverville Local Area Advisor.
And we have Christopher from NRCS.
Hey, afternoon, everybody. This is Chris. I'm the district conservationist for the Natural Resource Conservation Service serving Trinity County.
Okay, and Miles.
Hi, my name is Miles. I'm the education coordinator for the Trinity County RCD.
Thank you, Miles.
No, that's
Tiffany Perez.
That's my house.
Behind your house.
Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany. I'm the soil conservationist for the Natural Resource Conservation Service.
Okay, welcome, Tiffany. Bethany.
Good afternoon, Bethany Llewellyn, Trinity County RCD Forest Health Program Manager.
Welcome. Did we already? Let's see, maybe jump around a little bit. Megan.
Hello, I'm Megan Colleen. I'm the communications coordinator for the Watershed Center.
Okay. This next one, not too sure the DOI.
I think that might be Mike.
Mike Allen, is that you from BLM?
Yes, Mike Allen, Reading BLM. I'm here.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mike. David Colbeck.
David Colbeck, Trinity County Natural Resource Division.
Welcome, David. Sophia.
Hello, everyone. Sophia Sadie here from the Willow Creek Fire Safe Council.
Thank you, Sophia. Let's try to get everybody down here. Chris Woodman.
Good afternoon, Chris Woodman, the Shasta Trinity National Forest here in Weaverville.
Great, thank you, Chris. And we have Robert.
Yeah, Bob Doucette, Trinity Landscape PAO for the Forest Service.
Thank you, Robert. Let's see, did I miss anybody up on the big board? Got everybody up there. And we have a new arrival in the house here. You want to introduce yourself?
Chris Losi, Flora.
Okay. Okay, I think that's I think everybody, did I miss anybody on introductions on the online? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and item 2. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to look at the agenda. Anybody have any additions or changes to today's agenda? And also, if anybody has to depart early and would like to report out early, please let us know. Okay, hearing no early reports or departures. Our discussions. We don't have anything on the on the items. Anybody any grant information anybody would like to?
I mentioned last month that RCD was putting together a commerce proposal as part of a proposal that Cal Poly Humboldt was going to put in, and that would be for an on-the-ground risk assessment of existing like repeater and tower infrastructure in Trinity County, and that went in last Friday. So we should find out if we were granted that by the end of this year.
Excellent. Okay, Fire Safe Council Coordinator update.
Let's see, the Trinity County Hazard Mitigation Plan draft is over to Cal OES for review. The Hayfork BFD is now under contract under the Wildland Fire Assessment Program, so they can now perform home assessments. We have 2 new local area advisors for Coffee Creek, which is very exciting. We are still conducting hazard risk analysis as part of the evacuation plan and evacuation routes project. And that's based on the resident input that we got during the round of community meetings and public review period in May and June. The draft 2025 CWPP is still in drafting, and then also reviewing the input that we got during the same public review period, but we hope to still be on timeline for that to have a public review sometime early to mid 2025. Chipping is already coming up soon. By the next meeting, we're going to have already started promoting fall chipping with RCD and the Watershed Center dates confirmed, so that's pretty cool. Regarding the Firewise program, we engaged our Firewise boards. Thank you to Miles for preparing those reports. I've been updating our 14 Firewise community boards members what's been going on for the past few months. And if anybody has any reporting, either time or financial investment that you've invested into your property to reduce wildfire risk, please track that in our Firewise reporting application that was included in the most recent newsletter, or I have physical applications too that you can fill out. And then we are going to have a Fire Safe Council Grizzly Fellow who's going to be supporting Fire Safe Council programming, specifically in the CWPP development and in improving our communication and outreach strategies. So excited for that. She will be here by the next Fire Safe Council meeting, which is cool. And then the last thing that we're working on, a few Fire Safe Council members reached out after the previous meeting and suggested that we should put out an information post on some wildfire terminology that is used. So we're currently working on a post. I'm thinking of bringing it to the next Fire Chiefs Association meeting to make sure that we're all kind of on the same page regarding definitions for terminology. But once that's done, we're going to put it on our social media, on our website, and then also include it in the next newsletter, since that was kind of like conversation point in the last meeting. And that's my update. That's what we've been up to in the past month.
Cal Fire's done some of that on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Already.
And Basho Parks is doing some of that at Six Rivers. He posts a lot of stuff on different things. Basho Parks.
Is it on their Facebook page?
I think it was
Or on
on
the
Hannah Glen. Maybe Shasta did it too.
Huh.
They're talking about what is mop up and what is.
Oh, I think I have seen that, yeah.
That's good to know. No need to reinvent the wheel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All I do is find it and repost it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep it all,
Fire line handbook possibly.
keep it all.
Places like that, that's just all written out.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions for Skylar on coordinator updates? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and go into project updates. We are at the top of the alphabet this month, so we'll start with Mike Allen with BLM.
Just a quick project update. Basically, the Reading Indian Creeks units A and B, Trinity RCD has taken over that, and they'll be contracting that out. I believe it's already contracted, and hopefully starting up here in the next couple of weeks. The watershed had a portion of that to be masticated, but due to scheduling, they have pushed it back. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but They should be cleaning up their portions by the end of next year, hopefully. Even though it's still pretty early, we are gearing up for burning season. So we're just laying out our priorities of where to burn first, second, and third in the Trinity areas. I believe first will be Little Browns Creek. Second will be cleaning up the Reading Indian Creek piles from last year. And then moving into the Weaverville Community Forest and then trying to hit those piles on Oregon Mountain. We're still looking at more opportunities to do fuel reduction, working with the Forest Service on that part in Junction City. We're still looking into portions of the community forest that were brought to our attention. I think they just nicknamed it the Triangle. We're still aware of that, and we're still looking to get into the Union Hill area. That one might be a little easier because it already has some stuff written in there for maintenance. Other than that, just on my part, as part of my job, I just been closing all my loops because I'm getting ready to go on extended leave. So I haven't really started anything new just because I will be off work for an extended period of time coming pretty soon. So I just been closing all my loops and with that stuff. So everything's closed, everything's happening. The Weaverville Community Forest year 2 should be happening sometime after October. And the report, and any questions I'll be happy to answer.
Any questions for BLM? Okay, hearing none, we'll move down the list. I don't see anybody for CAL FIRE, nobody for Caltrans. High Palm Fire Safety Council. No, Lewiston volunteer, we didn't get. Lower Trinity PBA. Do you want to?
Next is NRCS.
Yeah, NRCS was who was that? Chris
and Tiffany.
Hey, yeah, I can give a quick update for NRCS. We're just closing, kind of finalizing contracts as our federal fiscal year is ending relatively soon. And then we're working on a larger Joint Chiefs project with Bethany and the Forest Service. And this one will be a little different. It'll also involve Humboldt County. So our field office over in Eureka is going to be a part of this Joint Chiefs Ask 2. So it's cool. It'll be 2 forests, two counties. We are losing our conservation planner, not Tiffany who was on the call, but an affiliate planner through an RCD agreement. So that position is open and flown. So we're looking for someone to backfill for that. And then we're also working on another agreement with RCD to facilitate more funding for that planner. It's currently funded, but the more we can get, the more secure we can get that position. I think that's kind of the main stuff, and we're always looking for more clients. So if you got people who might be interested in any of our programs or just want some assistance on their land, then have them reach out, and I'll put my email in the chat. So that's it for me, unless there's any questions.
All right, Chris, thank you. Any questions for NRCS? Come on in. Okay, Larry Glass with SAFE. Unless you want to wait till collaborative group.
I'll wait for that.
Okay. Southern Trinity Fire Safety Council. All right. Well, I guess Larry, you're back up again because we're already around to the collaborative group. Either Larry or Jerry, you want to speak on collaborative group?
I can start.
Okay.
Okay.
We had a field trip last Friday up to the North Country with the NRA, which was interesting because it was pre anything they've done. They took us just on their concept projects, and maybe now Pat's here, he could speak specifically to the sites. We stopped at 3 places, and Pat, do you want to just touch on those?
So I guess the 3 places we stopped at were kind of a landscape area, treatment area off of Boulder Lakes Road. And the ballpark, which has nothing to do with the ballpark, which is an area where the Forest Service has done a lot of treatments already. And we've actually looked at an area that looks like what we want future projects to look like there, as far as spacing and canopy closure and controlling brush. It's an area where the Forest Service has done a lot, did some thinning from below and then some prescribed fire. And then we went up on Rainier Road, which is from Mule Creek, for the Mule Creek Fire Station. There's a road that goes upslope towards the Alps and curves all the way around to Long Canyon Road. And we stopped there to look at another area where they're anticipating doing both shaded fuel break work along the roadway as far as ingress, egress, protection, and then landscape scale forest resiliency projects.
Thanks, Pat. I'd also like to report that a new camera downriver on the Bald Hills Mountain is up and connected and running. So if you want to check that new camera. And then this morning we had a meeting about the camera up on Ironside and was attended by Ben Sundahl, temporary or interim ranger. Emma, I don't remember her last name. She's Heritage Project for Forest Service. Two members of the Sinangwe tribe, and Kevin Anderson from Digital Path, and Travis from Velocity. And I was hoping to be able to come here and say, oh my gosh, we got approval and we're moving a camera already. No. But we did identify who has to do what when. So there's a quick report that has to happen. It then goes to the Forest Service permit, and I probably shouldn't say it, but I'm hoping in 2 weeks, all those T's and I's will be crossed and dotted. And that'd be a major lookout up on Ironside for the canyon. And I think that's all I have this morning.
There's a field trip that got canceled, right?
Yes, right. Yeah. Fear of wet and rain.
Larry, did you want to give your report?
Yeah, the only thing I'd add to it is it was a pleasure to see them approach us way ahead of planning everything out. It's a large area that they want to treat, at least 600-foot strip, but possibly even going on beyond that. So as with all these projects, the devil will be in the details, but so far so good. And I applaud them for bringing us out to the field to look at it before scoping even starts.
And I think it's something like 13,000 acres total.
And the project ranges from about Stewart's Fork all the way Scott Mountain, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Or at least
the basis for Scott Mountain.
The basis gone.
Yeah. And we're hoping that the next field trip will be after some marking happens so we can see how they lay it out.
Excellent. Any questions for collaborative group? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to Trinity County Natural Resources, David Colbeck.
Hi, thank you very much. If I could actually go back for just a brief moment to the collaborative, are you planning on providing any project concept suggestions? Is anything coming together from your side for the Highway 3 corridor?
Who are you asking, David?
The collaborative in general.
David, I think maybe that will happen once it's marked and looked at. So we'll have input after that.
Okay, I appreciate that. Part of the reason I'm asking is from the county perspective and maybe DOT specifically, if there's areas that we should suggest that they include. And I'm thinking of Rush Creek Road or any ingress egress sort of questions for certain communities related to county roads.
It's too
So that's
far
something
south,
I'm just,
It's too far north for Rush Creek Road.
Yeah, they're starting right around Stewart's Fork.
which
and
is
then
fair.
going north.
That's what you just mentioned. I had thought that it was further south. But regardless, the question remains if the county has any suggestions, and I'd wondered if the collaborative is putting something together, but I hear it's too early for that.
But David, I think you could address that through the Good Neighbor Authority with the Forest Service as far as their intention for down around Rush Creek.
In a separate process, yes,
Yes.
potentially we could. True,
Yes.
true. So for the division, no, I don't have any specific updates other than just to mention, I think I heard BLM say that PG&E was proceeding with their cleanup related specifically to the monument fire footprint. They reached out to the county yesterday, PG&E did, to see if the county can help assist in disposing of logs that the Forest Service is allowing them to remove from the landscape. So we're exploring the potential for either landing locations, such as like the Big Bar transfer station, or the tub grinder, or other potentials. So I'm hoping that the county will be able to put something together to assist there. They had mentioned curtain burners. PG&E again had mentioned the use of curtain burners under contract, as well as a new acronym, which I forget, in terms of biochar. So not just creating ash by using a curtain burner, but actually converting that to carbon sink in the form of biochar. So in any case, I'm hopeful that solid waste with the county is able to potentially contract with PG&E to assist those efforts. And so other than that, I guess that's all I have.
I have one question for David. So who's got the curtain burner?
I have not explored that enough. I believe that Six Rivers has access to one now and are looking for a place to deploy it. Other than that, it's would be under contract with private groups, contractors, or CAL FIRE. So, but I haven't actually explored what is currently available. I know they're in demand.
Yeah, well, they're in demand, and then they're, of course, everybody wants to have them, which increases the burning year, extends it so much. So
Correct. Yes.
So Kelly, here's back to you. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, I was going to say that I don't know if I've reported this out to this group or not, but I'm aware of the Mendocino County Resource Conservation District in this last round had been awarded a CAL FIRE Forest Health grant, which included the purchase of an air curtain burner. So we hadn't really thought about going that route, but it may be something worth considering. The next time that one of the partners is going after some of that funding. So I think it certainly sets a precedent.
For sure, that'd be great.
And I appreciate that. I did explore that potential with the Forest Service under the GNA in this most recent round, this amendment, to see if we could actually purchase equipment. But it's, as I'm sure you're all aware, that's kind of a non-starter with that type of funding source. But yeah,
that's
if
what I would
someone's able to buy one.
Yeah, I think CAL FIRE would be more, like I said, it sets a precedent. So, that'd be something worth following up on.
So David, this is Pat, I've got a question. I don't know if you're or ready to answer or not, but in the light of the county's significant budget shortfall, how do you see that affecting like the deployment of the the tub grinder and that sort of thing?
It's a great question, and I can't answer that fully. Of course, that's in a different department under General Services, or sorry, Solid Waste. So that's why I was excited specifically about the potential for the PG&E project, is that would be a separate contract, potentially depending on what the scope of it and what they can pay for, but essentially fully funded under contract that would be totally outside of the general fund. So
Okay.
that would be of interest, I think, to that department to pursue that either for staff hours as well as the existing loan or existing payments on the equipment itself. So I'm hoping that I can help advance that, like I said, but it's in their hands at this moment. In terms of the curtain burner, or sorry, excuse me, in terms of the tub grinder for other uses under the GNA, that is also not a general fund revenue source. So theoretically, it could still be out there and operational.
My understanding, it's no longer at the Hopewell transfer station.
Correct. They did pull that back down, I believe, to Weaverville.
Okay, any other questions for David? Miles, you've got your hand up.
Hi, David. I had a landowner reach out to me, trying to encourage a neighbor who had a buildup of vegetation on their property that they thought was a fire hazard. And I was wondering if you were someone we could point them to for how to use the vegetation management ordinance.
Thank you for that, Miles. I apologize. I saw your email come across, but I didn't get back to it. I'm not sure how to answer that at this moment. I think if the request was made either to me or in terms of a complaint form or sent to even environmental health, there's some options there. And I'll respond to you in your email about a potential pathway to at least document the concern. And then at that point, we could figure out who could take that on. It remains an interesting question about how the VMO can be used. And I know it's of interest to the CAO, Trent Tuthill, to figure that out. But I'm not sure how to answer that right now.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Miles, if you contact CAL FIRE Station 60, they have some leeway with helping out with that.
All right, that's really good to know.
And of course, Chris Cole on the line here would be also a great resource potentially for a small contract.
Okay, any other questions for David? Seeing none, we'll move on to, oh yes. So since I missed last month's meeting, I was over in Blue Lake taking some ICS training. I started a project where I'm printing off the area zone maps for each community, the exact evacuation zone maps, and I've got them laminated. And I'm working with the post offices in those communities to be able to put those maps up. So it's got good exposure. I've also got maps for the individual fire departments that also show the zones and kind of a perimeter of their response area. I will probably just take those to the Fire Chief Council or Association next month. I'm headed back over to the coast in September to meet with Humboldt Bay Municipal Water District for their annual EAP, Emergency Action Plan, sign off, and doing a presentation on Trinity County's Emergency Operations Plan. The spill trailer that we were awarded the funds from Department of Fish and Wildlife has been approved, signed, and the contractor has the contract to build that trailer. It looks like we should see that trailer somewhere around the end of this year. We're still following through on the Post Mountain GMRS radio program. We are redoing the flyers in Hmong to make them a little easier to understand, and getting ready to purchase equipment for that project, and working with the Trinity County Amateur Radio Club to help with laying out the repeaters and installation on that. We have two of the 4 emergency alert sirens up and operational, Burnt Ranch and Weaverville, and we have a third getting ready to go in once we have the sealed location for that. And I'm slowly working on the educational plan to teach people how, when they're gonna go off, what it means when they go off, when they'll be tested. I've reached out to Butte County. They just did a test of their entire system a couple of weekends ago, and I'm hoping to get some information from them as far as their marketing plan for theirs, and to kind of maybe follow along with them to start educating Trinity County residents. That is the end of my report. Jerry, I don't know if you have your hand up for me.
The evacuation maps, zones at the post office, will they be permanent fixtures or just there in times of fire?
No, I'm hoping that they're a permanent fixture. I've already reached out to Weaverville, and I'm basically just gonna have to go on a road trip and visit each post office with my maps and
Great.
ask that they can put them in. But no, it's a good point, because I want them, and then we'll start publicizing on our social media and website where people can find the maps in their area. But I'm hoping to hit all the post offices if possible. Good question, thank you. Any other questions for OES? Okay, and Skylar has a report out for planning department.
Planning and the board supervisor representative weren't able to attend today because there is a general plan workshop currently happening because the county general plan draft is currently out for review. So Senior Planner Bella Headkey wanted me to share that if you are interested in reviewing the general plan and commenting on the general plan, relevant to this group because they're updating the safety element, now referred to as the hazards and safety element. That will be available on the Trinity 2050 website through October 16th. And then there are also going to be more community plan workshops in September and October.
I think there's actually a workshop this evening.
I think it's happening right
No,
now.
there's a daytime one, but I thought there was also one
At
at
5
5 o'clock or 5:30 this evening, either here or 8:40.
I know, I thought that Liam has a community meeting tonight in Hay Fork.
Anyway, so I thought there was one here in Weaverville tonight.
Maybe that.
And I guess I have a question, should this group kind of weigh in on the hazard and safety element? As a council? Or just leave it to individuals?
I would be happy to put something together or organize comments if people have them, and we can bring it to the next meeting if there's interest.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that would be appropriate.
Okay.
I mean, kind of like what we did with the BLM resource management plan.
Yeah.
Does anybody online have strong feelings either way?
I think it makes sense to have collective comments just so there isn't redundancy and we can kind of have it all consolidated instead of getting maybe repeated opinions from individuals.
Okay, thank you, Tiffany.
I think it's a good idea too, a statement from the Fire Safe Council.
Okay.
Maybe we could extract that, or to have a look just at that piece, and have that distributed out to the group. And then you could collect comments collectively, we can go over and maybe draft something. And then go over it next month, assuming that they're still taking comments or within the commenting period, I suppose.
Yeah, I can prepare okay, so Weaverville's meeting is tonight, maybe Hay Forks was last night
Yeah.
for the workshop. So you can go to the workshop this evening. Thank you for bringing that up. And then so
good, thank you.
I can send out an email blast next week with the safety element, so it's brought to everyone's attention. Oh, thank you, Chris, for putting the information for the meeting on the chat. So then everyone will have it, and then maybe like 2 weeks before the next meeting, if there are any comments that folks want me to consider when drafting the letter, if you can send that to me, and then I'll send out the draft letter the Monday before the meeting so that everyone can review the comments, and then we can discuss and revise during the meeting.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Very good.
Okay, and we'll put that on, so that's the general plan, safety element.
Mhm.
And I think safety element's the most appropriate. element for us to delve into.
Okay, let's see, Trinity County RCD. Who wants to start? Miles, you wanna kick it off? Did we lose Miles?
I don't have any updates.
Okay, Bethany?
Sure, I've got a few updates. See, Mike already mentioned this. We have the handwork and Reading Indian Creek under contract to start hopefully right around September 3rd. Our crew has been doing some private landfills reduction work along Coffee Creek Road, and we'll be starting next week some roadside work in Trinity Center. Working with the Trinity Center Fire Department on that. That's been great. We're anticipating opening up the Oregon Mountain Timber Sale area just west of town for firewood. Technically, you could get a firewood permit up there, but I think we're working through a way to be able to issue them, and that would open next Wednesday. So I'm prepping to get that in the paper next week, but there's some nice firewood up there. So if anyone knows folks that are interested in that, we'll be issuing permits here. We've got a planned oak woodland restoration event on the community forest for Public Lands Day, which is September 28th. Trying to do some early stage fuels reduction while it can still be done with loppers, and it's fun for the community. And I've been working on the Joint Chiefs effort that Chris mentioned this week, which goes into region tomorrow, and is a continuation of the last 3 phases of Joint Chiefs funding. That's about all for me.
Okay, any questions for Bethany? You want to report on?
I would add to that, we will, this is kind of, I guess, getting back to a little bit to the collaborative group, but the collaborative group will be, well, there'll be a field tour of initial sites within the Forest Service ground within the Weeville Community Forest on November 1st. We're beginning to do like early analysis for what they initially are calling the Weaverville Fuel Break project, which is a partner-led NEPA that the RCD will be taking on. And just, I guess, as a staffing update, we've offered out the Forest Health Program Manager position to a gentleman that has accepted the position. So we expect him to start training with, or coming on board and working with Bethany in next month.
Oh, cool.
And we've also hired in internally one of our current forestry technicians that's working towards his RPF as the forester position under the Forest Health Program. So just wanted to kind of bring up those 2 items. I think that's it for me.
Okay. Any other questions for RCD?
We're still accepting like interested landowner submissions for site assessments for landowners whose properties were impacted by the 2022 Six Rivers National Forest Lightning Complex fires. So if you know anybody who was impacted and would like a site assessment and potentially work on their property after, please reach out.
Did you get that to like Heidi Carpenter Harris? She would be someone that would be in the know of who might need help.
Good suggestion.
Okay. TPUD, David?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Got a couple of, I guess, updates. Still don't have, I'll start off with the right-of-way expansion project, the RAP project, that document is any day for public comment. I know you've heard that for the last 6 months, but there was Forest Service had it for the last, they had a 30-day turnaround. I don't think they quite made that deadline. Our tree crews, contract tree crews, have been removing hazard trees along our right-of-ways all over North County, South County. I believe we were close to the Frost house last week. There was a tree that got away from him, and kind of once tree came some of the rigging came out, and a tree fell onto the wires. Our fire settings on our reclosers operated exactly how we want them to. Nobody was injured or anything like that. But there was another incident with the RCD brushing crew maybe a week prior over in Lewiston, and I just want to reiterate to all the other agencies that are working out in the forest and around our facilities that if something like that does happen, a brushing crew, a fuels crew, something, if a tree falls into the wire, do not cut it off. Do not attempt to get it off there. Even if it opens a circuit, whatever, just stay off it until we arrive. That's what I really want to have you pass on to your crews also. So, other than that, we're done with our pole clearing, the base of certain subject poles. We've completed that for the year. I think we've replaced 250 poles, 240 poles to date this year as part of our system hardening. And we've trimmed over 4,000 trees and removed close to equal that 45,000 trees. So I'm happy with the work that's going on, and I'll take any questions.
Any questions for T-Bud?
Dave, this is Pat Frost, no question, but just a compliment of your Silvertop crew that has been working on our property. I mean, they've been very hard work and diligent. I mean, other than the fact that they dropped a tree on the power line, but other than that, really great crew.
They are, and they are professionals, and with the things are going to happen. They did the right protocols, out of like I said, the 5,000 trees that have been removed.
Yeah,
that's a pretty small percentage of things going wrong. So, thanks for that, Pat.
Yeah, and I guess a question. So generally, when they're limbing, they're just doing lop and scatter.
Correct. If we can't get a chipper within 50, maybe 100 feet, I won't make them drag go farther than that. Property owners that prefer piles, we can have that done also.
No, that's good. Thanks. Just wanted to double check.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dave, it's Chris Prendergast with Bureau of Fire. I was up on a property, 500 Raspberry Lane. He's got several trees that are, if they fall, will impact your lines up on his property. I told him to call you guys. I don't know if you can reach out to that property and see if you can get up there and take a look at it.
I have seen those. Yes, and yes. I've looked at them, and they're on our list of next, and there's a bit of a slide in there also. But,
his driveway is pretty narrow, and he's got a washed out culvert, so getting heavy equipment up there might be an issue.
Most of those are all climb trees and areas, but thanks for the we are aware of those trees, and they're on a work order. Probably be completed within a month.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Next on the list would be National Forest. Chris and Robert. Chris, do you want to report out for Forest Service?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And I'll give you a report on what we got here. contract work going on. We've got Texas Spiders implementing timber sale work south side of Trinity Lake. It's in the Petty John Fields contract. Looking at proposal evaluations on the Bowerman contract. That's going to encompass the Bowerman, Ridge, the WCF, Lime Dyke, High and Palm areas. And work could potentially begin in there this fall within that project. Trailhead contract work continues. Work north of Denny has been completed for 73 acres. It's ongoing in the Big French and Bushy Mountain areas downriver. Looking ahead at prescribed fire, broadcast burning in the WCF as conditions allow. Pile burning will prioritize Lake Forest and Petty John. And we're going to have, we're looking at bringing on an AmeriCorps crew to help with the burning this fall, beginning in November. End of report.
Great. Any questions for Chris? No. Do we have Robert? Is Robert before us or something?
Yeah.
Robert, did you want to report anything?
The only thing I would say from this morning, we're looking at about, we had a goal of about 7,000 acres of accomplishment for treatment this year. And we're sitting at not quite 90% of that right now. So it seems like things are picking up on the landscape in terms of treatment. Hoping for a good push at the end of the year, but things moving along good. And I would echo sentiments about last Friday's field trip. We really appreciated that. That was a good outing. So
I do have one comment. I don't think I've heard this today, but I wanted to acknowledge the fact that we've been working with Six Rivers and Shasta Trinity National Forest, and particularly some of the members of the Wildfire Crisis Strategy Team, putting together a Joint Chiefs proposal for the new round of Joint Chiefs. And that, I think, is supposed to be going to region today or tomorrow.
I think Bethany said tomorrow.
Did you?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay. I didn't remember hearing that piece, but yeah. So yeah, working with the forest on getting that, and the NRCS and getting that together. Sorry, I guess I didn't hear that.
Okay. Looks like Chris with Weaverville Fire.
We've completed 21 of our 40 properties for the summer, so we're a little over halfway done. On top of that, we've also spent 30 days on engine assignments with my crew, covering the Cal Fire Station 60, and all those 30 days have been since 4th of July. So we kind of got held up on our project by having to help them out. Wanted to say a big thank you to RCD. July 25th, they came up to Raspberry Lane with one of their chippers and helped us out. There was just too much stuff to pile, and the chipper really helped us out up there. Unfortunately, we had to leave them because we had to go help Cal Fire, but they finished it up real nice. I was up there yesterday, took some pictures, and they finished up real good for us. So just want to say thank you for that. That's it.
Okay. Any questions for Chris with Weaverville?
The work you guys are doing in defensive spaces with the Title III.
Yeah.
How much money you got left?
I'm not 100% sure, but we're still pretty good on it.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Willow Creek Fire Safe Council. Regina?
I'll let Sophia go first. She's got some good info.
Perfect. Sophia.
Thanks, Gina. I just wanted to mention some of the implementation we've got going on, doing roadside fuel reduction, both in Willow Creek and in Salyer, under 2 different grants. That's all going really well, and we're looking forward to doing more in partnership with the RCD. The other thing we've got going on is we're kind of trying to put the impression on the Six Rivers Forest, the Ranger District, that the Lower T, that to just prioritize multi-use trail systems, both for strategic fire line and as well like public health. We kind of have a lack of good trail systems downriver. A little bit jealous of your Weaver Basin trails and whatnot. So we're going to see if we can get a little bit of that motivated from the community down here. And those are our main updates here. So if anyone has any questions.
Any questions for Sophia? Okay. Gina?
Yeah, I'd just like to comment that the public is very pleased with the work that is being done. You see it on the social media, Sophia's been great about before and after photos, and the neighborhoods are very happy. So it's good to see. Myself, I kind of coming back into this, but some of the things I'm involved with as our whole group is we've going to be working to update help Humboldt County Fire Safe Council update their webpage that pertains to the Willow Creek Fire Safe Council. It's not active or it's needs help. So we're going to be doing that with Tanner. And that leads us right into our Firewise certification, which is coming up. So there's that new process, and we tapped into it last year, made it happen, but we're going to be working on that. We're also recruiting members. We're in that stage where we just need people. And the ones we have right now are active and doing great. But it's like we always could use more. The other thing, I have a question and a comment to do with the site assessments for the Six Rivers Lightning Complex. When is that deadline? And it seems like we can help in that area also. I think it's been being mentioned to certain landowners as people have been out and about, but what is the deadline and how else can we help with that?
There isn't necessarily a hard deadline yet. If you know of any landowners, if they can just reach out to me within the next few weeks, we can get them included because we are starting our site assessments like beginning to mid-September.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any questions for Gina? Okay. Watershed Center. Let's start out with let's see, Megan.
Hey, I took a look at the spreadsheet of projects this morning, and I can only update you in the fact that I am not qualified to speak on how many projects are going on right now, but from a communication standpoint, we just opened up a YouTube channel, which is really exciting because we're starting a video series of our Spanish Treks training event last October, which was really exciting and had international attendees come right here to Trinity County to learn and burn together. And that should be coming up as soon as our logo string in the credits is finalized. But yeah, I'm just excited to share some footage of some exciting things going on. And I know our forestry and fuels crew is just chipping along with a lot of work right now. That's all I got, unless Sophia wants to jump in with anything else, like shipping dates, I think.
Fortunately for all of us, Randy's here.
Yeah.
Apologies for being late.
Oh, hey, Randy.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I joined and was enjoying the conversational updates from other folks. So, yeah, like Megan said, we're having a busy season. We have a lot of work going on right now in the Pettyjohn project area. Some of it's the contract that Chris mentioned, but we're also working in plantations that overlap the fuel management zones along the road, doing both mastication and handwork. We have our own masticator working out there, and we also have a contract masticator. Once we're done with the mastication in Pettyjohn, we'll be moving over to the fuel break maintenance on the south side of Hayfork. We already started out there with some of the handwork that was funded by the Resource Advisory Committee, so it's really exciting to get that work going this year. We had a bit of a speed bump where the agreement didn't get executed. So this is really our first full field season that we're getting to do the work. So we're kind of excited about that. And we'll be ending up likely with our masticator and this mastication contract with I think it's about 116 acres of mastication in plantations west of Hayfork. We've been working on some coordination with the Forest Service, flagging archaeology sites out there. But also looking forward to getting that done because that is tiered to our old forest health grant. And the third kind of site, or excuse me, fourth site that is a priority for us is the Mad River Ridge fuel break. We have hand crews and a mastication contract operating out there, and very likely we'll also be having tree fallers taking down some large trees as part of that treatment. Very likely machine piling that material out there. That's also tiered to our old forest health grant. So that remains a priority for us to get all that work done before the season ends. We continue to work away at the Bowerman CE. It is finally seeming like we're dotting all of our I's and crossing all of our T's, but it doesn't look like that sale will go out this year. There's been some balancing of workload with the forest and some pieces that have taken a little bit longer than we imagined to bring them home. But we will get that done as soon as we can. We are in the bottom of the ninth, for everybody who likes baseball. And we did hear from fire prevention. We did not get that grant funded. That would have helped us treat on the south side of Hayfork and over into Wildwood. We kind of had low expectations anyway, just because of the state budget issues. I'm really looking forward to seeing what all got funded this year. But I guess the reality is there is a lot going on, and maybe that's okay. And one big planning effort, the VTP for over in High and Palm, is moving along really well. It looks like we're going to be hitting those deadlines for getting that CEQA decision accomplished, over the winter, and we'll be ready to continue work out there. But some of the forest health work on Trinity Timberlands adjacent to Pilatru Ridge Road is still moving forward. They did a small timber sale out there tiered to a exemption that was completed in the spring. We've been doing fuels work along that same section of road. And we're on track for having that completed by the deadlines established in the exemption that was filed for that initial 105 acres on the low end of Pilatru Ridge Road. Oh, I don't know if you guys are interested, but we did start cone collection today. So that's kind of exciting that we're having a good cone collection season. And I'm just really pleased that it's happening. I know it's not really a Fire Safe Council thing, but it is a post-fire restoration activity. And so that feels pretty good that we're making that happen. And I'm just excited. So I wanted to share that piece too. Okay, thank you so much for the time. And again, apologies for the overrun meeting and missing the beginning.
No worries. Any questions? Dave, you have your hand up.
Yeah, Randy, fire prevention grant, you guys had heard back from CDF from that with a denial?
Yeah, it was on Monday that we heard back. Did you have a submission as well?
I did, and I haven't heard, so maybe that's promising. I don't know.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, I was just curious. We check it like daily, just waiting for something, some movement somewhere. So yeah, we applied for shaded fuel break along our 60 kV right of ways for I think 1.9 million. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I haven't heard.
Yeah, we actually got an email. So yeah, maybe that's a good sign. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for Watershed Center? None. Okay. For our list, I know there's a couple. Astrid, did you have a report out from Post Mountain?
Hi, Philip. Yes, I do. Thanks for asking. If anyone in this meeting does not know me, my name is Astrid Dobo. I'm the fire chief of Post Mountain Volunteer Fire Department. I wanted to let everyone know. Let me see, look up my notes really quick. Sorry. I wanted to announce that with the help of Flora consulting firm, the Post Mountain Public Utility District has been awarded a capacity building grant from the North Coast Regional Partnership. This will allow Post Mountain to hire a grant writer to acquire more grants. We are really excited about that, and it's a big step up that we have desperately needed to be able to continue to, keep this community functioning and make more things happen. So I wanted to announce that, and just I've never shown up at these meetings. My apologies, and it's nice to come and hear everyone speak. I also wanted to mention something else that I know I've bugged Skylar about it. We had a fire through the community in 2015. We still have a ton of dead, burnt, standing trees on a lot of private parcels from that fire. And I have community members begging me to figure out a way to help them come up with a way to fall those trees and make it a safer situation. They said that they're just terrified to even walk around on their own properties. So that's just something I wanted to put in the ear of the people here at this meeting. I spoke with Butte Fire Safe Council, and they said that a large part of what they do is finding grants to fund dead, standing, burned trees being felled to make private property safer for the property owners. So just hoping that someday we can figure out a way to reduce the risk in this community. If I had been fire chief at the time of the fire, I think I would have tried to get something to happen. I was not, and it's just been something I've wanted to heal since that fire in 2015.
Okay.
Can I mention something?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the way out, on the Trinity Pines Drive this morning, the county is out there brushing alongside the road where all that dead trees is. And I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, I actually acquired a grant for $15,000 in 2020, I believe. And the focus of that grant, in my opinion, was to fell some of those dead standing trees because they are such a massive hazard to our egress just in and out of the community. Trinity Pines Drive connecting with Highway 36 was the main it's our main entrance and exit of the community, and it's also an area that got burned during the 2015 fire. A lot of those trees started falling into the road beginning with 2020. So I actually used the $15,000 grant to hire Watkins Tree Service out of Weaverville, and they felled 150 dead standing trees all along Trinity Pines Drive. So I have made little efforts to try to do something about that massive issue for the county or for the community. But, $15,000 for 150 trees, it just took down what was actually going to fall into the road. So it's not a small project, and it's a unique project in that it's on private property. So if anybody ever has any ideas for us, we want to make something happen with that area and make it safer for all the landowners there.
Yeah, I would just like to add, one thing is there's a lot of, the Trinity Pines Drive is a county road. And a lot of those trees were felled into the creek drain off areas, and it's causing road erosion. And I just wanted to bring that up, because if we ever really got serious rain, there might be serious problem with those trees that were felled that's still sitting there. Anyway, that's, I just want to make that.
So
There
I'm,
is no waterway anywhere near the area that we felled those trees.
this is Pat Frost. I'm wondering whether or not CAL FIRE under their CFIP program might have a cost share of these kind of opportunity for private landowners to deal with standing dead trees and potentially reforestation. I don't think we probably have anybody.
CFIP,
from
I did
CAL
a
FIRE.
CFIP grant, and unfortunately, like they have like two, they only give 2 every 2 months, and it's really hard to have multiple landowners on a single grant. And these are small properties, so it's hard to get.
Like 3 acres. Or
Yeah, it's, you would want to get a grant to cover 30 properties, and I remember it was hard to put more than one landowner on the
And
same
how
CFIP.
about NRCS?
Chris has
Chris has got his hand up right now, so we'll let Chris report on that.
Hey, yeah, and yeah, so CFIP's got that limitation of 20-acre parcels, and so it's harder for them. But we at NRCS, very similar program to CFIP. We can address road erosion concerns, standing dead, replanting. So we have the capacity to address most of the things we would see out there. They I guess with the caveat for Astrid, we can definitely chat. My email's in the chat if you want to reach out. But they're not quite as funding heavy as like a grant per se, and that generally there is some cost to the participants. But we can lump a bunch of people together under one contract with one person taking the lead. It's it's a fair amount of paperwork, but it's not an impossible thing. So yeah, definitely reach out to NRCS. My email's in the chat, and we have the ability to at least explore some options and probably have something that would work.
Great, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris.
Dave, I think did you have a question?
I just accidentally did a thumbs up at one point. Sorry, I was trying to raise my hand. But in terms of the county road, definitely hear that concern. And this is my common refrain when people mention county roads is if you could please use the complaint form online, not as a complaint, but just to make sure that DOT is aware of any road erosion issues or hazard tree situation. It's an online form. It can be anonymous, and that is one way to get it into DOT's system so that they're aware of road problems. Just to make that pitch again.
David, will they find that under the DOT tab, department, or somewhere else?
Yep, Trinity County website, going to Department of Transportation tab under departments. Yes, correct, Pat. And then that form should be easily findable or available. I can leave my email too if need be.
Thank you for that, David. Appreciate it. Okay, that's everybody on the board. We have a couple other in the room. See if Chris, did you want to report anything out?
I came also. I've been coming now and again. It's often hard, but Flora is the technical services, technical assistance provider for that grant that Astrid was mentioning. So we'll be working together on that. It's been there's definitely the dead trees and the blue fire is an important issue. So yeah, that may be we will talk about it with the larger the PUD group, because the Trinity. The post mountain PUD will have a discussion and come up with kind of prioritizations of some of those treatments. And thank you, Chris Cole. I hadn't thought about EQIP when I was thinking about grants for this sort of thing, but absolutely, EQIP's a great idea. So we'll probably be planning to get the agreement signed. I just got an email from Rose at NCRP, and she said they're planning to have a contract ready tomorrow. So
nice. Okay, Pat, did you have anything you wanted?
Only thing I have is actually from California Fire Safe Council, just reminding people to keep their eyes on the November election. There'll be a climate bond that'll be on the ballot. It was approved by the legislature and signed by the governor. It's a $10 billion, billion with a B, bond for a 10-year period of time. Our reading of it, one silo of money, about $1 billion of that is to go towards wildfire mitigation. And so that could become the new source of funding from the state as other funding sources kind of dry up. We're looking at it at the California Fire Safe Council, talking to Cal Fire and Cal OES, who are going to be the ones getting a lot of that money, about a 10-year block grant to continue to fund the county coordinators.
That's a state ballot.
State ballot.
Okay.
Well, it'll be the ballot, but it's a state issue.
State issue, okay. Okay. Well, that's the end of our list. Do we have any last requests for reports or comments? For our next meeting, our future discussion item right now, we have Scott is going to send out the safety element to the group for comments on that. That's for the general plan. Any other discussion items anybody would like to see next month?
I think it'd be good to start a discussion on how we want to do like the November, December meeting. Like where we want to schedule that. I think last year we just didn't meet in November and then met at like the start of December. So
Like the 6th or something.
6th of December. Okay.
Something like that we did last year.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I haven't looked at this year's calendar, but I think we did that last one. I think it was the first week.
I think Thursday would be the 5th, maybe of December. I don't know. I think that.
Okay.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Way ahead of me.
Okay.
So that's where we'll move forward with that then,
I can
as a
put it,
potential date.
yes, I'll put it on the next meeting agenda and then we can vote.
Because Thanksgiving's really late this year.
Yeah, it's the 28th, which is the 4th Thursday.
Okay, well, if that is all we have, thank everybody very much for attending. Great conversation, great help. I'm glad we were able to help out some of the Astrid and some of the other communities. Stay safe. We'll see you all next month. Thank you again.
Yeah,
Hi, everyone.
thank you.